today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out.
Smell the gumbo.
I'm sure
You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio.
I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now.
Welcome to another mid-December, late December edition of Cajun Sports Radio. You can find us on Facebook.com/Cajun Sports Radio. Go to BestBikeATV.com and DirectTV.com for they're our sponsors. That's what this show is presented by. We are down and out, and Dad, welcome to the show. What's going on?
Hey, my boy. What's going on a big old Sunday evening, Cajun Sports Radio?
You know, we all down and out. We watched the game together. You know, we go into it. That's, you know, the weather's looming. It's down and out tonight, and it just seems like it fits the mood that we're already in. Man, Saints just take a hard break and lost. There ain't no other way of putting it. This is one of them losses to me that you just feel. To me, it outranks any loss that we've had this year. This was the worst loss of the season. Dad, the whole season was on.
It don't matter. The Rams loss was a big loss for me. And
this one,
yeah.
To me, why this one was so bad is because we had the game. It was similar to the New England game, but the New England game wasn't as big of a game as this. The whole season was on the line today.
Oh, I know all that.
We played sloppy. Let's just go ahead and say it. A great defensive game throughout. A great defensive game. The Saints did some good things today, man. They really did for most of the game. The defense played so well. Stopped Cam Newton the whole game. We have that one, and then the bottom falls out. We had all that rain come in late in the game. Then the Saints had that one good touchdown drive. They take the lead through Jimmy Graham. Some great passes down the field to Jimmy Graham. Touchdown. Then we get the ball back to Carolina. We stop them. We get the ball back, and you made the comment we needed one first down to end the game. We couldn't get it, but it goes back to that New England loss weeks ago where you like to blame that we should have got the first down, and I can see that week that you were right. We should have got the first down to win the game and not give the ball back to Tom Brady, but I'm not going to blame the offense on this one because we were trying to run clock. Carolina has such a great defense. We just couldn't. You couldn't pass in that situation. They knew we were going to run. I knew that we were going to have to give the ball back. But to just be so lackluster throughout that last defensive drive, you know, you give the ball back to Cam Newton, and we just couldn't stop him, Dad.
I guess not, Lane. You know, I'm biting my tongue right now, and I'm not going to bite it because, you know, open your eyes. Let's see what, you know, let's tell the people what's going on here. You know, I'm done. I got enough, you know. You know, you stop the man the whole game. The defense is burnt out. All we needed was one first down. They couldn't do it. They threw the defense back on the field. I kept telling you, Cam Newton is fixing. He didn't do nothing the whole game. He ran it down our throat. They scored the touchdown. Hey, let's face it. We couldn't get the first down. We didn't get it done. The defense was burnt out. You know. That is completely what happened. You can sugarcoat it. I don't give a damn. That's what happened. We cannot get a first down. Comsey Bobby Eber, he said the same thing. I listened to the radio show. He said, now come on, y'all. We had the game. You could not get a first down. I know they kept thinking we was going to run the ball. We'll throw it. Do something. We just don't.
How are you going to throw the ball in that spot? How are you going to throw? No. I'm going to disagree with that. How are you going to throw the ball when if you throw the ball and you have an incomplete pass, it hurts the clock? You have to run the ball in that spot.
Yeah,
to try to take the clock down, and you
right,
had no choice.
We couldn't. We couldn't do it.
I don't agree with you on that.
You don't
throw
want
the
to give
ball.
Cam Newton the ball back.
Yeah, but
guess
you don't throw it. Okay, say you try to. If we would have tried to throw the ball and we would have went 3 and out,
throw it.
And not. Yeah, you just said throw it.
What I'm trying to tell you, Lane, we don't have the running backs. We don't have the line.
It's not the running backs. We played.
don't have the line.
I thought the running
issue.
backs played their behinds off. I thought in this game, and I thought the running game, in my opinion. But I will say this, and I didn't.
Wait.
Huh?
I'm not sugarcoating no more, buddy.
Well, there's nothing to sugarcoat.
We could not get one first down to win this game at the end.
The biggest
mistake.
The biggest mistake for this game didn't happen today. It happened earlier in the week when Sean Payton just went with Armstead. And that I agree with what he did, and I could see, but I seen in this game, man, it shouldn't have happened. It was way too big of a spot for Armstead to handle, and he had a terrible game.
Okay, take him out. Put somebody else in.
It's not that simple.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you, my boy.
It's not that simple.
We don't have the beef like we used to. We don't have it. Let's quit sugarcoating all this. You know, you want me on the show? I'm telling y'all, we don't have it. It's done. We don't have it. If you cannot, the defense, hats off. They played their ass off today. They stopped Cam Newton. They sacked him 5 times. They did their job.
No, they didn't. They did not do their job. For most of the game, they did their job.
Better than what the offense did.
We needed that was piss poor, the effort that they put out in that last drive. There was wide open receivers. There was no call for that. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. I'm sorry. How were they tired? How were they tired? They were getting 3 and outs throughout the whole damn fourth quarter. They were getting pretty loose.
Got outcoached.
I'm not gonna say that we got outcoached. I'm not gonna say that.
Well, what the hell happened?
What happened was one drive. I thought Sean Payton did the right thing by trying to run the ball to get the clock down as much as possible. Yeah, if you get a first down, great. You pass the ball, and the same thing happens. And you throw an incomplete pass. Not only do you still have to get the ball back to Cam Newton, but you didn't eat any clock while doing it. You see what I'm saying? Sean Payton was caught in a bad spot.
Exactly what I said he was going to do. I told you, if they give the ball back to Cam Newton, he has not done nothing all day. He ran it down our throat. They beat us like everybody thought they were. There's no surprise. We did it to ourselves, okay? We did it to ourselves. Last week, the Rams game, the same thing. I kept saying this and that. I don't want to hear this playing away. I don't want to hear all that shit no more.
No, because
I am fed up with it. I don't care. I know football. Me and Shane talked about it last night. You can sugarcoat anything. We do not, and I repeat, we do not have the offense like we had before. We have serious troubles. We need to go back to the drawing board because we are not going nowhere in the playoffs. That's if we do make the playoffs.
Well, I'm going to this was a hard-fought game on each side. It was a defensive game.
Carolina ain't going nowhere anyway in the playoffs either.
And I think right now, we win that game, we would have ended up with the 2 seed. And the thing is, as much as we're tripping out, we get help from Atlanta next week, we could still end up in that 2 seed.
It's
not over. Yeah, we can.
Seattle just lost against.
It doesn't matter. That ain't got nothing to do with it. Whoever wins our division ends up with the 2. So if we would beat if we beat Tampa Bay and Carolina loses to Atlanta next week, we would still end up with the division and that first round bye, which would be the 2 seed. Now, where Arizona comes in is for that wild card spot. We would lose next week. They win. Bam, it's over with. The Saints are going to be sitting home in January. It's that simple. And by the way, for those of y'all just joining us, this is Cajun Sports Radio. We are discussing the Saints' very heartbreaking loss to the Carolina Panthers, 13-17. The weather didn't get bad. Well, the wind was bad throughout the whole game, but the weather didn't get bad till like the fourth quarter. And the bottom fell out when that happened. And I'm I'm not going to say we got outcoached because Sean Payton did. Now, I didn't agree with, if you go all the way back, and this was crucial, we had a shot to attempt like a 40-something yard field goal, and instead they called an audible and had McCown line up at QB, and they tried to run a play. That I didn't agree with.
You were trying to fight for number 2 seed. What the hell was that?
But how about Mark Ingram in this game?
Come on, tell me something. You know, somebody give me some answers.
Well, you try to pull out as many stops as you can. We've seen Sean Payton say a couple of times, "My bad." It was something that he's not afraid to take the blame on anything. We've seen a frustrated Drew Brees who did have 2 interceptions in this game.
Again.
2 bad picks in this game. Really, this game goes. If you look back on each side of the football, this game really comes down to one drive on each side. The Saints had the big drive to Jimmy Graham, and then the end of the game drive that Carolina had, with Cam Newton. But there were so many wide open receivers at the end of that last drive. Also, I'll go back to that one. Remember when Breeze threw the pick before half? And then the next play, D'Angelo Williams ran it all the way in, like 50-something yards. I thought that was huge. Of course it was, because points were so hard to come by. But we said it. We talked about this. We turn the ball over more than they do, we're not going to win. We had 2 turnovers, they only had 1.
I'm telling you right now, I am not surprised. I am not surprised. What last week showed me a lot. I told you last week, and I talked to a lot of sports fans last night. Today, I was not surprised at all going to Carolina and them doing this. The only thing is, what makes me so mad is the defense stepped up. We held Cam Newton the whole game, and the last drive, you just say, "Oh well, too fini." That's why I'm upset.
Well, let's go ahead real quick. Look at the stat pack presented by DirecTV. First downs, us 20 first downs to 10 to them. Rushing yards, we had 126. They're only 81 to them.
Oh, you trying, yeah.
And we stat-wise, we dominated this game. Time of possessions, 38 to 21. It does. Yes. As much as you don't want to believe it, yes, it does. Third down. Dad, you want to know what Carolina was on third down today? I bet you can't believe it. Carolina was 0 for 9 on third downs today.
Oh, Lane, the defense played good. They they fought all day. Hats off to them. How many times they sacked Cam Newton?
He was sacked.
I can tell you, I ain't got to look at the damn computer. He was sacked 5 times.
He was sacked 1, 2, 5, 6 times. He was sacked 6 times.
6 times.
No. I'm sorry. He was sacked 1, 2, 3, 4 times in this game.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
4 times. Hats off to the defense, man.
Yeah, hats off to them. But when we needed them in that last, I'm sorry. Yeah, they did well. I'm not going to dispute that. But you can't tell me that was a good effort by the defense in that last drive by Carolina. I mean, it was.
No, Lane, not at all. No. Again, I know I got a new word, sugarcoating tonight, but I'm not.
You said it a million times.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm trying to say is, the last drive, and I did listen to after the game. I had to have some answers somewhere, and yes, they went to sack Cam Newton. They blitzed him. It was just like it just fell their way. Okay, he throws it. They catch. And wait, y'all gotta understand. Lane called something today. Smith was out the game. Thank God, because when he was in the game, tell him, Lane.
What happened?
Smith got out the game. Remember? Smith.
You talking about Vaccaro? When he got? Oh no, you talking about Steve Smith for Carolina? Yeah. For Carolina,
Thank God. And I hate to see the guy hurt, but if he would have stayed in the game, oh my God.
Oh, yeah, because Vaccaro went down and...
Yeah.
But look, you look at this game as an NFL fan, and there's no doubt about it. The team who outplayed the other team lost today. Because the Saints completely outplayed Carolina.
Oh,
in this
numbers?
Game. Yeah, I'm talking just watching the damn... I'm talking about watching the game, just watching. I don't have to look at any stats to see that the Saints were the better team today. Right. But that's not how games are won and lost.
No.
You know?
Sean Payton said after the end, he's very satisfied they played. Combs E. Miles, if that's what you happy with, the hell with it. If you happy with all this, go ahead, buddy. Well, why not? They laughing to the bank anyway.
Well, this is still a good football team, Dad. I mean,
they very good, Lane.
They
got a good football. But I am too much. I take it overboard. I'm too much. I look at
no, you want everything. You want Super Bowl every year. You've been in that spoiled bracket that you want everything to be perfect year in and year out, and it's not going to be like that every year anymore. This is a tough league.
Yeah. I still can't believe Arizona just beat Seattle. I just can't.
Well, yeah, how about that? Arizona going.
I can't believe this.
To the 12th man and taking down Seattle for the... It's Russell Wilson. Look. Russell Wilson's first loss in his career, the 12th man today. Seattle ain't worried about it. Well, I can believe it. You know why I can believe it? Seattle ain't pumped up. They ain't playing for anything. Arizona was playing for a lot today. Arizona needed it more than Seattle, so I can see it.
Because they got home field advantage anyway.
Regardless, yeah, they're not playing for anything.
Well, why were they playing Wilson?
Well, I mean, technically, it's not over with but with us losing,
Y'all, we have the worst luck. You know, every time the Saints, we try so hard. If we would have beat the Rams, we could have sat back today, watched the game. It's always a fight, man. You know
because
what I mean?
If we would have beat the Rams, all we would have needed was a win, either this week or next week. If we would have beaten the Rams, all we would have needed to do was either win this week or next week. Take your pick.
I tell you one thing: we ain't beat Tampa Bay yet.
No, Tampa's been playing good ball.
Shit about playing home. I'm tired of hearing it. I am completely tired of hearing it.
Yeah, but you're tired of hearing it. But there's no doubt about it. We're a better team at home. Well, we're a better team at home. Yeah, you're tired of hearing it, but it's the truth. Look at what we did to this same Carolina team in the Dome a few weeks ago. It wasn't even the same game. We blew them off the field. Look at tonight. I mean, or this afternoon. It's just we're a different team in the Dome. But you know what? In the Dome, we're not fooling with tore up fields. We're not fooling with rain.
Well,
perfect play.
A good football team like Denver today. They were down to find a way to win. That's what we did in 09. We found a way to win.
You are not gonna get the 09 team every year. We're not the New England Patriots. As much as I would love to be the New England Patriots.
Well, you've seen that performance today.
But they're still playing.
Baltimore.
They beating the piss out of them.
I lost. You called it. I lost.
They beating the piss out of them. They find ways to win.
I gotta give you credit.
It's the NFL, and like we were talking last night, the margin of separation is so small in the NFL that every little thing matters. And I know people want to say that there's money and the refs are bought. People want to make comments.
There's no money, none of that.
That the games are fixed and this and that. And
it's whoever shows up. I don't give a shit what team it is. Everybody says, oh, well, this and that. No. They all pro players. It's whoever shows up. The Saints has not showed up. And
turnovers.
Really when's the last time you seen the Saints click in all phases? Be honest with me.
Against Carolina. Against Carolina a couple of weeks ago, man. They were clicking in all cylinders, man, against Carolina.
I would call it before that.
What, the Dallas? San Francisco? Dallas, maybe?
San Francisco game, y'all, was the last time. Hart. I'm talking about Hart. I seen the Saints really play ball with the heart. The San Francisco game.
The key is here, though. When we turn the ball over, we don't win. We were talking about that last night. When we turn the ball over, we do not win the game. Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Dad, are you coming back with us? Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break. All right, we'll be back in a little while.
Smell the gumbo? You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio. Hosted by the Cajun himself, Lane.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw
You're
it back
listening to
you.
Cajun Sports Radio with Coyote
By
and
now,
Lane.
you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your...
Hey, it's Lane from Cajun Sports Radio, and right now we have to talk about Best Bike ATV. This is something that you need to know about. Best Bike ATV is a full-service mechanic shop, locally owned and operated, specializing in the repairing of most ATVs, dirt bikes, and motorcycles. They sell a full line of aftermarket as well as factory parts and accessories. They have a factory-certified mechanic on duty at all times. They are an authorized high lifter, Gorilla, STI, and ITP dealer. They are located on Highway 1 in Echo, Louisiana, about 7 miles north of Marksville. Their operating hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit their website at www.bestbikeatv. Contact them at 318-597-9022. Once again, www.bestbikeatv.com. 318-597-9022. You're going to want to check them out. You will be very impressed. Tell them that Lane from Cajun Sports Radio sent you. Thank you.
Smell the gumbo? You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio.
All right, welcome to Cajun Sports Radio. We appreciate you listen every week, as a lot of you have been doing. The count looks pretty well, even under these circumstances. But I know it sounds crazy, but the listening count is always higher when the Saints or LSU loses. Imagine that. But we got to keep talking about it.
I just want to say real quick, I was watching the game today at Hines, divided, Facebook, Combo, and I got to meet him, and very, very nice. We had a good time. Got to see Miss Irene and everybody, but the gumbo was very good. Just want to say it. It was very, very good.
Yep, had a good time today, even though the circumstances. We watched them. Yep.
Very good time.
Circumstances of the game, you know, kind of put a big beef on.
The whole game, till the debacle at the end. You know what I mean?
But what I was saying though, before you walked away from the mic, was that when the Saints turn the ball over, they don't win. Just go look at it. That's the main thing here. When we turn the ball over, we don't win. We turned the ball over twice today. Carolina, we picked up. Well, remember at the first drive of the game, Cam Newton and were driving, and then Malcolm Jenkins had that huge interception at the beginning of the game.
Oh, that's who it was that missed the sack at the end. Yep, that's what Sean Payton said. Jenkins went, they come around, he missed the sack. It was just luck, y'all. Cam Newton's about one of the luckiest. Look all year. Lane told me that today. He said, look all year, Daddy, and see Cam Newton losing the whole game. And it falls their way.
I never told you this, by the way.
Yeah, no.
That's not what I told you.
Last week we talked about it. How Cam Newton comes back at the end. You don't remember?
No, what he does is he finds ways not to make, like today, he wasn't perfect. He finds ways not to make mistakes throughout the whole game. Yeah, he had that pick early in the game, and he plays behind his defense in his running game. Then it comes down to that final drive when you need him, and he makes plays. He did it against New England. He did the same
It's
thing.
about the fifth time this year.
Okay, let's just go ahead and say what it is. He's good. Let's just go ahead and say it. He's good. That's not, I mean, I know a lot of people don't like him. I know because of his college, what he did in college. Believe me, it's very easy not to like this guy. For the BS stuff that he did in his college career, believe me, it's very easy not to root for this guy. I personally don't like him, but I like him as a football player. He's good.
He's laughing at the bank. That's all I can tell you.
You know, he's laughing at us and the bank right now.
Yeah.
Saints fans, there was a big thing. I like to read, like Dad, the comments, and there was a lot of trash talking.
I didn't read them yet, Lane. I did not read them yet. I'll be honest with you.
There was a lot of trash talking going on.
What did they say, Lane?
Earlier in the week by the Saints fans.
Oh. I thought you meant after the game.
Now we're hearing talk from both sides. Now Saints fans have been very down and out. We're hearing stuff like Saints. This comes from, I don't even know this guy's name, but he is a top commenter, one of the top commenters on ESPN, saying Saints would be at least grateful to squeak in the wild card. We're hearing people say stuff like bad coaching on the Saints' part. Go back to the first loss of the season. Tom Brady, last-minute touchdown to win. Today's game was a replay.
Whoa.
That comes from one of the top commenters that attended the University of Kentucky. This ain't coming from just some Joe Blow.
Yeah. Well, what it is, Lane, is going back to what we just talked about there, my boy. It's coming back to, y'all can go, it don't matter, we can rewind it, I don't care. Go back to the last, when we had the ball. Listen well, we had the ball. You running clock, you got the lead. All we needed was a couple of first downs.
We need one first down. One first down. Yeah, but hold on. You cannot pass the ball there. It's not that simple. Okay, hey. Let's get a first down. We did run the ball. No, but the thing is,
to do it.
They were expecting the run game. We were playing a good defense. I knew we were going to have to give Cam Newton the ball back sooner or later. In a defensive game like this, no. The problem here is when you're in a defensive battle that we were in, odds are to win the game, you're going to have to make a last defensive stop. Okay? We were in a defensive battle today. So I knew it was going to have to come down to our defense making a stop to win the game. We couldn't do that. The defense played well. Look, I told you, Tufini, over. The defense played well, but it came down for them to finish their part. They didn't do it today. They didn't do it. The defense is not. The defense has been great, but it has not been the same since the Seattle game. Never be Greg Williams. Never. No, that's not what I was saying. See, now you're going down a whole nother path. Like, what are you even talking about? I'm talking about since the Seattle game. This defense hasn't been.
When your boy got hurt, Tufini. And you called it today with White, that last pass.
Well, he got beat.
You wouldn't have got beat with Greer.
Because, we took out their best receiver early in the game. Like you said, Steve Smith was hurt.
Yep.
So, in this point, I think now all you can do, we can complain. This is going to be talked about a lot tomorrow. Which side are you on? Are you on the side that you should have got the first time? No, and that's not the side that I'm talking about. Are you on the offensive side here or on the defensive side? Are you saying that the Saints should have passed the ball in that spot and should have said to hell with, worried about running the clock down? Or are you on the side like I'm on, saying that, you run the ball. Odds are you're going to have to give it back to Cam Newton, but at least you're taking some time off the clock.
It don't make a shit what side I'd say I'm on, you're going to argue with. All I'm telling you, you're going to listen to Jordy, whoever he is, and you're going to hear all this. Again, We could not get the first down. It's not our fault, okay? We don't have the beef. We don't have the line to do it this year.
We played a good defense, too. Yeah, we don't have the okay.
Line.
There's no doubt about it. The difference,
Carolina's a better team. It showed it today.
Well, yeah, and you want to say about the offense ain't the same. The main problem with the offense this year compared to previous years is what? Our offensive line. That's our problem.
We don't have the line. We don't.
And going back, if you're just joining us, we talked about it earlier. I thought this game might have been lost earlier in the week when Sean Payton announced that he was going with Armstead. Because and I'm one of those people that would put my trust in Payton, and I still do. But Armstead was not ready for this. Armstead was not ready for this spot. And if some type of miracle happens to where Carolina loses and we win next week and we end back up with that 2 seed, I don't want Armstead as the left tackle going into that first game. Or in the playoffs, period. I don't want Armstead. I don't want Armstead going into Tampa Bay or going against Tampa Bay next week.
He will. Sean Payton, Sean left him in the whole game.
Well, you can't go back. You can't go back to the guy that you benched.
Yeah.
I mean, you already.
It don't make no difference.
But Sean's got an interesting decision to make this week on how he's going to handle that, because even though I know the whole season was on the line today, we still got a football game to win next week. So,
and guess what? Tampa Bay's playing some good ball. Guess what? Tampa Bay, the way we playing, and I'll repeat, can beat the Saints right now. Shit, if it's home or away, they can beat us. We are not playing like we used to play. The last few weeks, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know. I'm not going back and forth. You're going to hear it all tomorrow on the radio. We got a lot of work to do, man. A lot.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
One is Drew Brees. I love him to death, y'all. Love Drew Brees.
He has no time. Well, he had time to throw the ball a couple of times.
How many times he stayed in the pocket lane? They held him. But we just, again, we played a good defensive team. We had nowhere to go. At the end, the momentum changed. Finally, he threw one in the sky. And Graham, as good as he is, grabbed it. Because that's what Graham does.
Like I told you.
When Graham is in a part of the game, we're going to win.
When Graham is involved in the game, involved, catching passes, we're a whole other football team. When he gets like 100 yards receiving or in that ballpark, look at that drive where we scored our only touchdown. He was involved the whole drive. He had that big catch, you remember, for all them yards that almost got intercepted.
Yeah. Sean Payton did talk about that after the game. They pulled it out. And y'all, I wish we would have had Graham, the kicker. Lane, we didn't talk about him yet. He did great today.
Well, he kicked one field goal. No, two. Two of them, sorry.
And look, y'all, I like Hartley. I'm not putting Hartley down. He got us to the Super Bowl. The onside kick today. What was that? Great, y'all. Great. Anything we would try to do, I guess it just wasn't out there. I don't know no more. We cannot play away. How about that, y'all? We cannot play away. Everybody keeps saying, yeah, we can. It's a myth. Can we, Lane? Look at the record.
We're 3-5 on the road. I mean, that says we have 3 wins. Man. Well, we have 3 wins on the road. Chicago, which was a great win. Chicago was a great win.
Lane, that's when
Atlanta.
we was playing football, my boy.
Yeah.
That's when we was playing heart-to-heart football.
3 wins on the road. Chicago, which is the only one we're talking about. Atlanta, which we barely squeaked that one out. And Tampa Bay. Technically, we should have lost to Tampa. I'm not trying to say should have, would have. Remember that. Tampa Bay, we got lucky in that one. The Tampa Bay one early in the year. Yeah, it got delayed, but then we had some calls go our way in the end of that game. I don't know if you remember that. Tampa Bay handed us the game, basically, in that one.
They owe us 1-2, and they come next Sunday.
And Atlanta basically handed us the game, too, that night. So, really, if you want to be technical, what have we done on the road this year? We really ain't done anything but that Chicago win on the road.
I tell you, man, it don't matter. And guess what? We're going to if we make the playoffs, we got to play away. So guess what? We blew that today, and whoa! I don't know. I know I went to a site today. You know, you go here, you read this, and I guess another thing, y'all. You want to worry about the money they're going to lose. You know, you didn't go by that lane. When you're number 2 seed, you know, you have a bye plus a home. You know what? That's a big deal when you lose a free home game. You know that, huh?
You would have had, well, what it does now eliminates being home. So you're looking at a lot of money
loss. It eliminates about, how many thousands of dollars?
Millions. No, not thousands, millions.
Millions.
When you look at the city of New Orleans, probably millions.
Yeah. You know, so they lost that too.
And here's another comment just coming in. I don't care what they say. The referees were bought in this game. Wow.
Man.
That's
Whatever.
coming
They
from Donald.
Was the refs bought for the Arizona game today against Seattle?
But you've been on that kind of side saying that things have been questionable this year. I'm not saying you said that it was rigged, but you've been one of those guys that said that things have been kind of...
A lot of calls has been horrible. A lot of calls. Well, let me tell you one thing, and I will say it again. Today's game, believe me, the refs were both ways. I ain't blaming the refs for nothing. The Rams game, they were kind of, you know what I mean? Today's game, believe me, the refs couldn't have helped us. That was our cut and dry. Our fault. Today's game was our fault. Cut and dry, lost it. We completely got our ass kicked.
Let's go ahead and update everybody on some of the scores that happened today. It was a big, or the news, and we kind of did that last week. The big news stories in the NFL. Peyton Manning breaks the single season touchdown record. He broke it.
He broke it? That's right.
He broke it.
And they wonder who's better. Come on.
He had 51. That's the record.
How many interceptions he threw this year, man?
He has 51 touchdowns. Let's see. 51 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
That's damn good. That is damn good.
51 touchdowns. Only 10.
And how many is 10?
Yeah, and Breeze currently.
Okay.
Drew Brees has, let's see. Pull them up real quick.
He ain't gonna make it a Pro Bowl.
Breeze? I don't know. He has the big name, but
Nope. Cam Newton will beat him for the Pro Bowl.
Breeze, Breeze has 12 picks.
How many?
After today's game, he has 12.
I thought he had more than that. 12 all
picks.
year?
12 all year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
he went through. Well, go back to the beginning of the year. Go back till just recently. He wasn't throwing interceptions. He didn't start throwing a lot of picks in the last few weeks.
You know, me and Lane, before the season, we would dissect all this through the show. We were worried about the schedule. The ones that we worried about, nothing happens. The ones that we said we were going to coast.
I was worried about playing Carolina twice in 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
I was. Romo gets a big win.
He always pulls it out.
Well, what's interesting, okay, if Philly wins tonight, win or lose for Philly tonight, it's going to come down, it looks like, to another Sunday night game for Tony Romo next week.
Oh, yeah.
No, he don't shine. He always blows it. In those big Sunday night games, he blows it. It seems like the season always ends with Tony Romo blowing it on a Sunday night. Every year.
That's something.
But he comes
next week, I'm telling y'all now, it don't matter what happens with the Saints. Atlanta, and I repeat, Atlanta will beat Carolina.
If they do that. Well, if they do,
I called it.
You're calling Atlanta? Well,
Atlanta, it will. Let me tell you something. I'm telling y'all right now, Atlanta will beat Carolina. Carolina's coming off of 2 big wins. They flying high.
Well, really, one big win.
Well, whatever.
Jet win wouldn't that be?
Atlanta, no matter how it unfolds with the Saints, Atlanta will beat Carolina next weekend. And you watch what I'm talking about.
Well, if that's the case, we could still get the 2 seed.
Hold on. No. We ain't beat Tampa Bay yet.
So you saying that we're going to lose to Tampa Bay?
I didn't say we're going to lose against Tampa Bay. We're going to have to play hard football. What I'm telling you is...
Oh, we're going to beat Tampa Bay.
Atlanta is one team I do
Come
never...
on, Dad.
I don't count them out. Huh?
We're gonna beat Tampa Bay next week.
Whatever. I don't ever count Atlanta out. Atlanta will beat Carolina next week. It don't matter if they got to pull every stop they have, Lane.
I hope you're right. Because the Saints season is almost relying or holding off on it. It's a big game.
Ryan is going to have the best game he ever had next weekend.
Not that he ever had. Maybe of the season. I don't know that he ever had.
Yeah, Lane. I know you're going to argue with me, but it don't matter.
Big call by Coyote. He is calling an upset Atlanta over Carolina next week. I hope you're right.
Yeah.
I hope you're right. Continuing on. So, yeah, Dallas gets a big win over Washington to keep their season rolling or alive. And the big upset of the day, the Arizona Cardinals go into the 12th man. We talked about it earlier. And beat the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah.
I want to see the highlights on that. I have not seen nothing about it.
Well, there was a big touchdown at the end of the game that propelled. It was a slop. It was a defensive game throughout the whole game, and then Arizona got some big touchdowns at the late in the game, and this was one of your late games. Arizona gets a big win. Well, it's not like their whole team was relying on the Honey Badger too. So now Arizona is tied at 10-5 with the Saints. So, and by the way, San Francisco has a big game against Atlanta tomorrow night, too. So, the Saints have not clinched anything. They don't have anything right now.
No! And guess what? Atlanta's going to lose tomorrow night. Or our luck, they'll beat San Francisco and go next weekend and lose against Carolina. But San Francisco is going to take care of Atlanta. Then Atlanta's going to really be hungry and take care of Carolina.
I just don't have any faith. I hope you're right, but I just don't have any faith in Atlanta. I hope that you're right, but they're just bad. They have been playing better over the last few weeks.
Yeah. Tomorrow night's game is at San Francisco.
It is. I got it right here. It's the last. No, it's the last game ever in Candlestick Park in San Francisco. San Francisco.
A debacle.
Well, San Francisco. This is their last home game ever in that stadium because they're getting a new stadium.
That's right. They're going to take care of that. The Atlanta going to be licking their wounds. And Atlanta and Carolina is worse rivals than us and Atlanta. Do you know that?
Go back to that. No,
Atlanta,
that's bogus.
Atlanta and the Saints is a big
Oh,
rival.
yeah. It's not bigger than it's bigger than us in Carolina. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's bigger than Atlanta and Carolina. Come on, man. Dad, Carolina just started their team in 97. 96, that was their first. Us and Atlanta go back years, man.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to pump it up where Atlanta's going to take care of Atlanta's last game at home against Carolina. At what time, Lane? 12 or 3. That's big.
They haven't decided. They haven't decided the times of the games yet.
They might flex it.
Well, the last week they usually change the times of the games.
It's
not going to be a Sunday. No, it's not going to be. No, it's not going to be a Sunday night game. No, it might be a 3:00 game, but it's not going to be a Sunday night game. No. Giants end the Lions' playoff hopes. This was huge. Detroit blows it again, and Tom Coughlin.
They lost?
Yep. They lose to the Giants. Tom Coughlin. And you were one to say that Tom Coughlin was going to get fired. I just don't see it.
Nah, we talked about that last night. I thought
he's done too much for that team, man, for them to fire him. He's earned the right to walk away when he feels like it, you know.
Yeah, you're right. We talked about that last night on show.
Let's go ahead and update the rest of the scores. Miami loses to Buffalo, and that screwed them over pretty bad. They lose 19-0. Cincinnati destroys Minnesota 42-14. And the big upset, how about the Colts? 20. They go into Kansas City there.
Yeah.
And beat the Chiefs 23-7. Tampa Bay gives the Rams a fight, but not for long. They lose 13-23 to St. Louis. The Jets get a big win at home, 24-13 over Cleveland.
Does it save the job, Lane?
No, probably
Rex
not.
Ryan? No. Okay.
No.
That's what it's a big thing about saving the job.
And how about Rex Ryan getting heated on the sidelines and almost getting into a fist fight with
he told
the
the players
opposing
today,
team?
you know that this might be my last 2 games. He told them. They fired me.
Dallas, it's going to happen. Dallas gets a huge win, barely, over the Washington Redskins, 24-23 late. And I know you want me to skip over this. The Saints lose a heartbreaker, 17-13 over the Carolina Panthers. Tennessee gets a big win over Jacksonville, 20-16. Denver blows out Houston, 37-13. Peyton Manning shatters the touchdown record. The Giants, we talked about it a while ago, go into overtime with Detroit and get a win, 23-20. Arizona goes into Seattle, into the 12th man, and is the first team to beat Russell Wilson in his career at home, 17-10.
I'm shocked on that. Like,
and
what
then
was the spread?
Seattle was favored pretty big.
I know.
So the spread ain't really a factor at that point.
No, I was just wondering.
That ain't got nothing to do with it. Now, the spread would be took into this if Seattle would have won.
Yeah.
But, no. I don't know how you factor in spread when they lost.
No, I was just thinking something.
Pittsburgh 38. Green Bay 31. A shootout. Green Bay's still alive, though. Matt Flynn looked good again, Dad, in the snow today. I got to watch a little bit of this game. San Diego gets a big win, 26-13 over Oakland, and then New England does it again. Goes into Baltimore, 41-7 over the Ravens.
I was shocked on that one. I was shocked. I thought Baltimore would give them a better game than that.
Oh,
but again, the Patriots, they're gonna make the playoffs. They're gonna make some noise, like same teams all the time.
I want to talk about it because it was something big for me last night, and I thought it was an awesome scene, even though I was watching it roughly, 3.5 hours away from where it was taking place, and that is that New Orleans Bowl last night between Tulane and UL Lafayette. What a game. That was just an awesome scene. Tulane played their behinds off in that game. They did. UL does get the win, and UL, 3 New Orleans Bowls in a row they've won. They shattered the attendance record. 60,000 people was there. The most by
was unbelievable.
To have that much money, they said, for that bowl, it was incredible.
Playing home lane, they right there.
It was the UL fans though that made it wasn't the Tulane fan.
It did something.
Huh?
I'm talking about they should have went to the Independence Bowl.
No, the fans rather in New Orleans. They got a lot of alumnus in New Orleans. It's a bigger bowl for them. Now, there's more money in the Independence Bowl for them.
That's what I heard last night.
Prime? I mean, you can't be sad, though. You in prime time on Saturday night on ESPN.
I'm happy for
by
me.
yourself.
I bet you Lucas and them were there.
I hope they were, because I would have liked to have been there. That was a big scene.
Hell of a game.
That was a fun scene. It was fun to watch. I watched it all the way. I watched the whole game.
To know Tulane playing home, that was the biggest sink in.
That's by the way, that was their last game.
Sink in.
Well, this is what the sink in is over all of that. You know, Tulane's home was the Dome. This was their last time playing in the Dome because next year they have their own stadium on campus.
And they said ain't no money.
So Tulane's last time playing in the Dome. But okay, before
they were talking
we
about tonight, there wasn't going to be a whole bunch of people at the airport waiting for the Saints. There's usually like thousands. But the last few weeks,
probably hundreds.
Whenever they land, it's dry. What?
Thousands or hundreds?
Oh no, Lane. There's usually thousands waiting for the Saints when they land, when they win. You remember Super Bowl year?
Oh yeah, but that's different.
10 to 12. No, this year they had a few. But this year the security is waiting to see him. But every time we don't win,
we don't win
away games. When the plane lands, there's nobody there.
I'm sure there's still people there.
No. I'm so aggravated right now, y'all. Y'all wouldn't imagine. I'm miserable. I'm so mad.
Final thoughts, though, just on the game before we wrap things up.
Not too much, but can I say something a little bit? The Coyotes talk real quick.
The Coyotes segment.
Hats off to the LSU basketball team, y'all. What a performance last night. Huge. Y'all, they are 8-2. They beat UAB last night. Huge turnout, Lane. That was the plus. Huge turnout. 86-63. You were right, Lane. They starting to fill the seats in the Assembly Center. What do you think?
I knew it would happen. Well, I just knew they're fun and exciting.
They finally start to put people, why? See,
they're winning.
Down, you see.
Well, but like we talked last night, this is a team that lives and dies by the 3-pointer. When they're hitting threes, they're gonna win. When they're not gonna be winning. They're exciting to watch, though. They're a fun team to watch. That's gonna bring people in the seats. But the main, how about this?
What's the Alabama basketball team?
Today, like you weren't watching football?
Well, back and forth because I was so mad at them when I got home. I think that we can stay with Alabama. I'm serious, y'all. We're not a good team.
Alabama's not that. I mean, they're good, but they're not.
Yeah. But go ahead.
UMass, the team that LSU lost the first game of the season. They finally got their first loss last night of the year.
Really?
Yep. First loss of the year last night against Florida State. So, but fun. Okay, back main topic that we opened the show with. Final thoughts. Saints Panthers. Go ahead.
It was just a hard-fought game.
No, not all that. Just give it to me straight. You've been giving it to me straight the whole game. I mean, the whole show. Go ahead with it.
We couldn't close the deal. We played away. Again, we lost. We couldn't close the deal at the end. The defense played good. We couldn't get a first down. They showed us. Cam Newton come back and won the football game. Cut and dry. We got a lot of work to do. I don't know what else to tell you.
Well, next week, I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you my thoughts. I thought defensively we were like this was a dogfight. This was a bloodbath. I thought start to finish. The offense opened up in that really big drive, man, and then we did good things like the onside kick, and we got the 2. We went up big. But Dad said something early in the game, and I kind of argued with you about it, and I think you were right about something. When we were kicking field goals earlier in that game, we should have been scoring touchdowns. Particularly that onside kick.
Eyes, didn't it?
Yes, that onside kick drive where we came so close to score, and if we would have put it in the end zone, who knows what would have happened.
We got a lot of work to do. That's all I can tell you.
But I will say this though again. A lot of people are going to argue we couldn't get a first down at the end of the game last night or today. I'm going to say Sean Payton did the right thing. You run the ball in that spot. Take as much clock as you can off. The defense has been playing great throughout the whole game. You expect them to just not look. I know they had a great game, the defense. One of the best of the season, but same thing with Tom Brady. You do great all game, and then come down to that last drive, you don't show up. It's like they had no effort. No effort, no.
You're right.
Did you call me buddy?
How? Yeah, bub. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm your son.
My boy.
Yeah,
my boy. You know what I meant. Talking as it. How? You show up the whole game, but the last drive, you just hand it to him. How the hell you do that, man?
I don't know. Thoughts? Okay, you have spoken and said that Carolina will lose to Atlanta next week. Are you sticking with that to end the show?
Oh, definitely. Matt Ryan's going to show up and eat him up. Yo, Carolina's not that good. I'm telling y'all right now. They're going to have the number 2 seed or whatever, or if they lose, we'll get it. Carolina is not going far in the playoffs. Cut and dry.
I think they're a team you better watch out for, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Lane, if Smith's out.
Oh, yeah, they're done. You're right. You're right. They done. Yeah, you're right.
Sure.
Yeah, we outplayed them. I don't care what anybody says. The Saints were the better team today. No doubt about it. We were the better. You said earlier that they were better, than they're a better team than we are. I'm going to disagree with that. We're a better team than Carolina. No doubt about it. They did, but we were the better team today. All right. I know it sounds stupid, but next week, Tampa Bay. Real quick, what happens?
We better show up. Well, we'll be playing home, last game in the Dome. They'll be all fired up. If we can't beat Tampa Bay, well, go home. You know what I mean? Come on.
So if everything happens the way you say, okay, we beat Tampa Bay, Atlanta beats Carolina, hey, we good?
Yeah, we'll get a first-round bye. We'll have a playoff game.
I hope you're right. We'll be back here next Sunday night to recap that.
Learn how to play away, man. We got to start winning these away games.
Which we're not. I mean,
yeah,
we get that wild card spot. I don't even know if I even want the wild card spot. If we do get it, I want it just to play another week of football. But
yeah, we'll go to San Francisco and they owe us one.
Well, we wouldn't go to San Francisco because they're going to be a wild card. We would go to either Philly, Dallas. That first week, maybe Green Bay, Chicago again, maybe one of them places.
The only thing we need to do is worry about Sunday.
Yeah. Well, we're going to wrap things up.
We lost some big games this year, man. That's all I can tell you. Some easy games we should have took care of.
It was the first year back of the Sean Payton, Drew Brees era, and it's been crazy. It really has. It's been an interesting year. But that's going to pretty much close things out. Dad, any last words before we shut things out?
Want to show y'all Merry Christmas to everybody, because the next time we'll be talking, it will be after Christmas. Merry Christmas to all. Y'all be safe. And we'll talk next week about the LSU, the bowl game coming up.
That's it. That's coming up, yeah. We'll be discussing that. Yeah. That'll be a big topic of discussion next week. Yep. And we got to start looking towards the national championships coming up too. Auburn, Florida State. We got plenty of football. And then the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah. So join us back here next Sunday night after the big late game. We'll be up there. All right. This is Cajun Sports Radio. Thank y'all for listening.
Thank y'all.
Smell the gumbo? You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio.
You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio with Coyote and Lane.